Hello and welcome to Angela's Busy Bees Garden and Homestead. Guys, today is Saturday, March 11th, and I'm in the garden area trying to get rid of some of the grasses that have grown and died in between these tires. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to plant squash or zucchini or maybe watermelon and cantaloupe in this area this year. Haven't quite decided on which one. But we're expected to get rain for several days this coming week and also today. And before this grass wakes up and starts growing even more, I want to get into this garden area and try to clean out as much as I can. I'm going to go and get some more cardboard and put around these edges here and try to clean things up just before my spring planting. So let me put this phone down and I'll come back with you and let you see how far I've gone so far. Okay, so the first thing I did was to remove the tomato cages and the dead tomato plants from last year. And as you can see, my trash can is now full. So I'm gonna go and dump this out and come back and work on removing some more of the grasses uh, from this area. These smaller pots in between here, this is where I had marigolds and other flowers in between for the pollinators. But as you can see, the grass has grown in the pots and inside the raised beds as well. So I'm going to come back and clean that up a little bit more. And as I look along this fence line here, I'm also seeing some dead grasses that I can remove, as I've stated, before it wakes up and after we get all this rain that's coming. So let me get busy with emptying this trash and I'll be right back with you. Okay guys, this is what the cleanup is looking like so far. And as you can see, I've been able to pull a significant amount of the grass out. And as I was pulling grass, I noticed some little trees trying to grow in there, and I almost hit myself in the eye. So it's a good suggestion to wear safety glasses when you're in the garden, because sometimes when you're bending down, you don't realize that you can poke yourself in the eye. But after cleaning out this garden area, we were also able to clean out a couple more beds. We cleaned out 4 more beds, this one and this one. Of course, I'm going to remove these tomato cages and put them somewhere else, because the tomato cages were in the tires, because I grew tomatoes in the tires last year. But Ava and I, we cleaned out these 2 beds, and we also cleaned out these 2 beds. And because all of these containers, the moment you try to lift them, they're busting and tearing. So what I did is I've repurposed the soil that was in these containers, and we've added to these 2 raised beds because the soil level had dropped pretty low. Now we're sowing our onion sets, and I'm in Tennessee growing zone 7A, and we can plant onions 4 weeks before our last frost. So our last frost date is about somewhere around April 15th. And with today being March 11th, that puts us pretty much at the one month mark. And I know we're planning to get some cold weather. I think the lowest is going to be around 27 at night. But these onions will be okay. I've planted onions before a little earlier than this, and they did okay. So we're going to go on and get started with our spring planting. with letting our onions be the very first things that we plant. I typically buy onion sets, these little small bulbs, and I only stick them just a little bit in the soil, just enough for the roots to be able to take off. And I've also fertilized with some Dr. Earth here. I got this on sale last year at the end of the garden season from Lowe's, and it's an organic fertilizer. Let's see what the NPK is 463. And so normally when I'm fertilizing my raised beds, I'll use an organic fertilizer, or sometimes I use whatever I can get on sale. But I'll add this to the soil, and then going forward after this, I usually fertilize with a liquid fertilizer such as the fish emulsion, and sometimes I'll add Epsom salt for magnesium, things like that. But I always use like a solid, slow release fertilizer in the beginning, and then subsequent weeks later as they're growing, then I will fertilize with a liquid fertilizer, which goes directly to the roots. But Ava's helping me to get this onion bed going. I have a little bit more to do in terms of cleaning out that bed and a couple over there, but taking it one day at a time, and just really thankful for any opportunity that I have to be in the garden, because this is truly my happiest place. Right, Ava?
Yep.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless.
Bye.
Bye-bye.